Psst.
Ask Maestra Askren.
Welcome to Ask Maestra Askren. Today's question comes from Sophie, who is 6 years old.
Hello, my name is Sophie. I'm French Malaysian. I'm 6 years old. And how does the conductor conduct without any papers or information? Does she have a special book that tells her what to play?
Great question, Sophie. And the answer is yes, there is a special music book that all classical musicians know how to read so they know exactly what music they should play. And that book is called a music score. A music score is like a storybook, but instead of using words and pictures to tell a story, it uses musical notes and instructions. A musician reads a score just as you can read a book. You can read a book to yourself, silently in your mind, or you can read it out loud for yourself or to share with others. A musician reads the score in the same way, either silently in their mind without an instrument, or out loud by using their instrument for themselves or so that others can hear. Sometimes a score is only for one instrument. This is called a solo piece. Solo is an Italian word meaning alone, but you don't feel lonely at all when you play solo music. Sometimes a score is written for a few instruments. This is called chamber music because you play together in a chamber or a room. It's really fun to play with friends. Then you have scores written for a lot of musicians playing at the same time. This is called an orchestral piece because an orchestra plays the music. In an orchestra, you can have 50, 80, even 100 players sometimes, playing all at the same time. But that's not the biggest a score can get. Sometimes a score can have both an orchestra and singers singing words and telling a story at the same time. This is called opera. It's like watching a theater play and hearing beautiful music all at once. But if you add so many musicians playing on stage together and you add singers singing at the same time, it can get very complicated and people can get totally confused.
I can't hear what you're playing over there.
Did you start yet? Where am I?
And that's why for big groups like an opera or an orchestra, you need a conductor. The job of a conductor is to make sure that a big group of musicians can play together well, that they can rehearse or practice together well, and also that what they're playing is actually exactly what's written in the pages of a score. In order to do that, a conductor has to be able to read a musical score. Now, just as you have learned the ABCs and then you can read storybooks and even write your own stories, you can also learn the musical ABCs, and so you can read and write music. This is the letter A, and we write it like this. But we can also write the letter A in different ways. We can write it like this, or we can write it like this. But whatever way we write it, those are all the same letter, the letter A. Sometimes the A sounds short, like this, ah. But sometimes it sounds different, it sounds longer, like this, A. But whether it's sounding short, ah, or long, A, they're still letter A sounds. Once we know how to read and write the letter A, we can then make words using that letter. For example, cat or cake. Yum. The same is true for musical notes. For example, the musical note A looks like this. But the musical note A can also look like this, or it can look like this. They all look different, but they all are a musical note whose name is A. Sometimes A's sound like this. That's the first one that we wrote. But sometimes an A can sound like this. Much lower. That was the second A that we wrote together. Sometimes you can have A in the middle. And that was the third A. But whether it's all the way down here or all the way up here, those are all from the family of the musical note A. And once you understand that all of those are A's, then you can make musical words or chords together using the note A. For example, A major. Or something sad, F sharp minor, for example. Isn't A amazing? It's A-mazing.